Yup. What up? What up? What up? What up? I hope y'all don't mind if I roll up, because this is Viral Munchies. But yeah, we gonna get into this though. It's going down. I'm late, so I'm gonna have to do two episodes today, but I'm gonna do them in separate videos for episodes 3 and 4. So we here to talk about. Well, before we get into that, as always, follow me at Loch121. That's LOCH121, and subscribe to my channel. I definitely love the feedback. Leave me any comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And all of that, all of those things, you know, trying to get my blood right. Um, but yeah, of course, a show leaked, but we'll talk about that when we get to episode 4. So without further ado, we're gonna run through this real quick. I ain't gonna keep you all day with this shit right here, but we gonna get into this Westeros business though. Game of Thrones, episode 3, The Queen's Justice. All right. So Jon and Davos, they make it to Dragonstone. That was pretty quick. They meet Tyrion, everybody on the beach, the Dothraki, all that. They get disarmed. They talk a little bit about Sansa. Tyrion was like basically like, yeah, I didn't fuck your sister. In case you wanted to know, I didn't fuck her. So get my background correct. So yes. And but what was crazy though is at this point something was said and Jon said, I'm not a Stark. Actually, Tyrion said something about Southern boys don't do good in the North or whatever. I mean, Northern boys don't do good in the South. And he was like, I'm not a Stark, or Starks don't do good in the South. And he was like, I'm not a Stark, because he's a Snow. And of course, that was crazy because we know Jon Snow is a Targaryen at the end of the day and a Stark. But a dragon flies by right when he said that shit. Like, yep, I sniffed you. I smell what the rock is cooking. So, yeah, Jon Varys talks to Mel, and basically Mel says that they're both gonna die at Dragonstone, and she definitely regrets some of her mistakes. Basically, Missandre says Dany's long ass title. She is the queen of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MCs, they literally call her fire. She is the menace of the menace of dragondom, the Khaleesi of Khaleesiness. She is the horse master, the breaker of chains, the chain breaker. She has broken chains. She is the queen of soul. She is the king of pop. She is the most dragoness of the dragonistas. Anyway, and then here come Davos like, yeah, this is Jon Snow. He's the king of the north. But so so yeah. So they talk. They go into the throne room right here. That's the scene, and they talk. And basically, it goes kind of like Jon is like, she like, you need to bend the knee. Jon is like, no. He like, yeah, you killed my grandfather and my uncle. Not quite who they really were, but whatever. And he's like, well, y'all had faith in us for thousands of years, and it worked. And so it kind of ends with no agreement. And she basically says she gets some news from Varys, basically. But that's what stops that conversation. She says a whole bunch of things are said, but this conversation is stopped. Oh, also Davos almost mentioned that Jon had died and stops mid-sentence for whatever reason. Jon looked at him like, no, don't tell them that. They already think we crazy than the motherfucker. Don't tell them that shit. So yeah. So, and then Varys comes in and says he has some grave news, and she sends Jon and Davos to rooms or whatever. Jon asks if they're basically are they prisoners, and she's like, not yet. So yeah, so that's cool. So Varys tells them what happened with the Dornish and the Gravejoys as far as Euron attacking the ships in the second episode. Theon is pulled from a ship at the same time, and they like, fuck you, you fuck nigga. So then we see Euron roll through town. He is feeling himself. He got Yara on a leash. The sand snakes are captured. Boom. Brings Ilario and Ilaria into the throne room. Whoop-de-whoop. Euron is stupid. So after this, basically, Cersei says that he's going to get what he wanted, which is her. You're going to get what you desired. She probably going to jerk him. But then Euron goes and messes with Jaime, talking about, does she like it rough or hard? And does she like fingers in her booty? Does she like a little finger in her booty? Jaime looked disgusted. So Cersei has Ilaria and Tyrene chained up in a dungeon, and the mountain is there, and she is talking to Ilaria. Long story short, she gives her the kiss of death with the same poison that killed her daughter, and the punishment is that Ilaria has to sit there and watch her daughter just die in front of her and be stuck in there with the dead body for the rest of her life until she dies, basically. And then what's funny is the next scene, Cersei goes and kisses Jaime and blows him. So that's really messed up because she literally just had death on her lips, and now she's blowing him and kissing him and all that. You know what I'm saying? And so Cersei was definitely turned on by killing or at least poisoning Tyrene. She's not dead yet. So then after she blows her brother, yeah, that's what's going on. She blew her brother. They wake up and a servant or whatever comes to the door and she is looking disgusted, but she can't really show it. But basically Jaime first, he was like, bitch, why you opening the door? I'm in here fucking you, I'm your brother. And she like, I'm the queen, bitch. I do what the fuck I want to do. If I want to fuck my brother, I will fuck my brother because that's what I do, bitches. So yeah, that's how she gets down. Cersei meets up with the Iron Bank and basically she like, look, man, Dany and them dragons and them Dothrakis ain't gonna be good for your money. You need to fuck with us. And he like, bitch, we need our money. And she was like, if you stay, I will have that money before you go back to Bravos. Tyrion, you see Tyrion with Jon. Jon is brooding, which he does best, and it's funny because Tyrion points out that he looks great brooding, better brooding than him. So that was funny because that's like an inside joke with the fans and shit. That Jon Snow is always brooding. So basically, this conversation consists of Jon trying to figure out how can he make people believe in the White Walkers, and Tyrion is like, look, people's brain ain't built to deal with shit like that. We can deal with Cersei. People got to be, you got to walk them into this. And he says, what can I do? And Jon asks for that dragon glass. So Tyrion goes, he talks to Daenerys, and basically he tells Daenerys, look, you ain't got to believe him. But we do need him as an ally. We need allies in Westeros. And it won't hurt to give him the dragon glass because we're not using it. So, give him something by giving him nothing, is what he says, basically. So, and she also asked about what was Davos saying about basically Jon getting stabbed in the heart or whatever, or dying. And Tyrion plays it off. He don't really know, saying, them Northerners be tripping. They gloomy as hell down there. They dark. So they don't realize that he really did come back. You know what I'm saying? So Jon and Dany talk, and the dragons fly, beautiful scene. And she agrees to let him get the dragon glass. And it appears that she does believe him to some extent. Maybe. And then he leaves and she looked back like, I'm gonna fuck my nephew at some point. Because it's building up to that. And I don't like it, but it seems like they're shipping it, and that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, man. So Yeah, so John walks off, she looking or whatever. Where we at with it? At the yeah, so Sansa, you see Sansa and Littlefinger, they making demands. She's making demands, doing her thing. I must say, she seemed like she's competent at that. She's telling them to stock up food, yada yada. Littlefinger is there. Something happens though. She asked what was the longest winter in the last 100 years, and the Meister guy answers that Meister Lumen kept track of all the ravens, and he would check. And Baelish looked kind of concerned about the Raven situation. So, yep, I'm rolling up. So yes, he seems concerned, like there's something in there that he don't want to be seen. Ain't no telling what that fool been doing. Littlefinger talks to Sansa. Basically, he like play this like chess. Fight every battle. Think of every possible event. Trust nobody. And he's trying to plant those seeds even within her with her siblings. Is basically what I see. Trying to get her to go against John. So yeah. So then you see Bran return, ironically, and Sansa, she cries, she hugs him. Bran doesn't really give a fuck. Bran and Sansa talk at the weirwood. Bran is like, I'm the three-eyed raven. She like, what the fuck is that? She want to understand. He sees everything in pieces and fragments and says he got to get ready for the Night King. I'm pissed, man, because Bran needs to get it together, man. Bran be seeing everything but all the important shit. I've been saying this nigga has the talent to look at poorly edited trailers. Nigga, we know more about what the fuck is going on than Bran. So Bran then mentions that he saw Sansa on a wedding night. And you were beautiful. And I'm like, he totally saw her get raped and he might have jerked off to it. Bran is totally, there's a theory that Bran is going around looking at everybody have sex. So, yeah. Anyway, so the Archmeister checks out Jorah, and finds that Jorah is cured. They play it off like Sam ain't do shit. Of course, Sam cured him, and Jorah is free to go. Then you see the Archmeister talking to Sam. He act like Sam is in trouble with something, but then he tells him, congratulations. But then he says, yeah, so look through this old shit. And Sam looks disturbed and mad, but as pointed out by other reviewers, I'm pretty sure he'll find things he needs in those old manuscripts that will come in handy. You know what I mean? So Dany wants to sink Euron's fleet. She wants to fly and burn them. Tyrion says it's not safe for you to go out there like that, putting yourself in danger. And then he shows a scenario where you see the Unsullied go to Casterly Rock, and lose. But then he shows the fact that he had underground sewers because his father made him the warden of sewers, I guess, to shit on him. And he built a special room to fuck holes in. And this is the room where they end up going in and beating the soldiers who are at Casterly Rock. But it's mad easy, and Grey Worm is like, what the fuck? And he looks out, and he's like, where are the other soldiers? He beat some nigga up. Where are the other soldiers? This was too easy. And Euron has destroyed their fleet, or at least a part of Euron's fleet, and the Unsullied, are stuck on Casterly Rock, stranded, basically. I wonder why the people on Euron's ship don't just go fight the Unsullied, but maybe it's because they're not good at war on open land, and they know about the Unsullied's reputation as being relentless murderers. Basically, I got a hole in my blimp. I'm trying to correct that shit. So these motherfuckers is stuck. You know what I mean? So that's not a good look at all. These niggas is stuck. So now, with them stuck, that leaves Danny in a weird position. So yes. So boom. Grey Worm, he got to be disgusted. So then we see where the other soldiers are. After Grey Worm asks where the other Lannisters, we see them marching. They have marched on Highgarden and they took over, killed soldiers, and they have taken Highgarden at this point. And you see Jamie march up to Lady O's room or whatever. And basically, she is like, nigga, your son was a cunt and I killed his bitch ass after taking the poison he gave her. Because they talked for a minute. He talks about how Cersei wanted her to get her ass raped in front of the whole fucking Westeros. And then she was going to put her in some kind of saw device. But she convinced, he convinced her otherwise. And she agreed to poison. A lot of poison going on this episode. So he put the poison in her cup. She drunk that shit down fast as hell, like, fuck it. And she was like, yeah, your son was a cunt and I killed him. Tell Cersei, you bitch ass nigga. Oh, before that, though, he was like, you are a pussy whipped fuckboy. And Cersei will be the death of you. And I killed your son. Fuck you. Drop mic. And yeah, the episode ends as Jamie just walks out. You don't even see Lady O die. She just cuts off as Jamie walks out, knowing she will pass. Boom, man. So this was dope, man. Great episode. Good episode. Definitely. Lady O, man, I like that chick, man. That was a tough old broad. So it's ironic she died after giving Daenerys such great advice last episode. In many ways, Tyrion's advice that she was warning Dany about got her killed. You know what I'm saying? Dany is really on this bend the knee shit. She is on that shit, man. She really is on that shit. So yes, Game of Thrones episode 3, The Queen's Justice. This shit was pretty good. It wasn't too much action. Just a little battle scene, pretty much, but it still was a good episode, man. And I already saw episode 4. I saw the leak and I watched the regular. You know what I'm saying? So I still gave HBO their money. But I did see the leak. I ain't even gonna lie, I couldn't help myself, man. So yes, trying to think what kind of questions I got for this. I don't know if Jon is gonna bend the knee. I don't know what's up with Tyrion as far as him messing up a lot recently. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't really his fault. I don't understand how Euron knows everything. And a lot of people think this is not a spoiler. This is a theory that Varys is a spy. And I don't know. But I have a theory. And that theory is that actually that Varys saw something in the fire when he was castrated. Oh, forgot about my background. He saw something in the fire and he knows more than he's saying. And possibly he really is for Jon Snow. And Daenerys is a chess piece. And he is a spy who's been giving out information because he wants certain things to fail. But I don't fucking know. That is not a spoiler. That is a personal theory. And it's probably not even true. Varys probably is not a traitor. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm wondering about this bending the knee thing. I could see how Jon would bend the knee because of all that's at stake. But then I think about Mance Raider and I think he wouldn't bend the knee, but he died not bending the knee. And this is the very same cause. He wanted Jon wanted him to join Stannis to beat the White Walkers. And now Dany wants Jon to join her to beat the White Walkers. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why Mance even let himself get killed, to tell you the truth. He really ain't mad at the end of the day because the Wildlings ended up following Jon after Stannis died, but whatever. Cersei is a nasty slut. And Jamie is just pitiful. So yes, I'm gonna get to this next video. So I ain't really got to spend too much time on the after talking on this one because there's other shit to talk about. You know what I mean? But definitely subscribe to my channel. After talking about that, subscribe to my channel. Let me get those likes, those comments, those shares. I appreciate it. Game of Thrones season 7, episode 3. I'm gonna be right back with the episode 4 though, and I'm talking about in like at least probably about 10 minutes. I will be back with my episode 4 review. You know what I mean? And all those things. Got my blunt roll, so I really gotta be ready for that episode 4. You know, man. Shout to my niggas in the fucking ill community. Shout to Cyan. Shout to Boss Excellence. Shout to all the niggas I be fucking with. 2 steps ahead. What up? You be in the power shit too. You know, I don't know everybody's name by heart right now, but shout to everybody who be up in the spot. Definitely could get shout outs. Just holler at me. But yes, subscribe, man. I'm out like that, but I will be right back at you.